Well, good morning and welcome to day one of the Space and Missile Defense Symposium here in Huntsville, Alabama. I am Luke Dorminey, the host of the Tec-Talk Podcast. Today I'm joined by Brandon Abney from iHeartMedia. Yep. Glad to have you on. How are you doing this morning?
Pretty good, man. I appreciate you having me out here.
Fantastic. This is something new for both of us, by the way, I think.
Yep.
Having a podcast at a big Space and Missile Defense Symposium for the first time, I think is a huge thing. I think that's where the media world is going. So super excited. Thank you for inviting us to be a part of your team with iHeartMedia and the sponsor and the partnership with the Tec-Talk Podcast associated with Tech Masters here in town. Could you maybe talk a little bit about how this idea got started in you and Derrick's mind, and basically talk us from the beginning to where we're at now?
Yeah. So I've been with iHeartMedia just a little over a year. iHeartMedia is just such a big company. So every account that you see, Target, Walmart, they're all taken by salespeople. Just try to find something different. I came across a company called Odyssey. So they were the first one to actually respond. They sponsored a high school baseball team where I'm from. They told me all about the symposium. So I just kind of became obsessed with it and reached out to Bob English. Shout out Bob English.
But yeah, shout out to Bob, because without Bob, we would not be here.
Yeah, absolute awesome setup. Thank you, Bob.
Yes, Bob's awesome. And so a little bit about iHeartMedia. I think a lot of people might not know. They probably know the name.
Yes.
But where are you guys headquartered out of? When did you guys get your start? And how are you guys trying to break into the defense space? I know you guys have been mostly commercial, but I think this is a great opportunity to talk about what you guys are envisioning moving forward with other events like this.
Yeah. So I am based out of Dayton, Ohio. We are headquartered in New York City. But the big thing for the defense space, I mean, when you say iHeartMedia, people think radio. That's kind of what our bread and butter was. But so much has changed. So we got the iHeart Podcast Network. We do digital advertisement, streaming, CTV, all the above. But it seems like defense industry, there's a lot of change going on. So it's interesting to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. There's a lot of change going on, not just within the federal government, but businesses are also trying to change the way that they market themselves, as well as other companies in the area, partnerships, teaming arrangements, and things like that. And we were honored, by the way, that you guys reached out to us. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to reach out to us and say, hey, how can we do this?
Absolutely.
And basically both of our teams found a way to say yes to almost everything that was asked. So really appreciate that. With the Space and Missile Defense Symposium, with you guys being up in Dayton, are you guys looking at other conferences that you guys want to be doing this similar setup at? And how is that going? And where are your next couple events coming up at?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, we want to be a part of every conference we possibly can in this industry. I can't give too many details. I know we talked behind the scenes a little bit, but have a call tomorrow. There should be some pretty good news coming out.
Fantastic. And I will tell you, I speak for the entire Tech Masters team. If we can do this every year with you guys, I think this would be a huge hit.
Yeah. I just kind of want to see. I mean, we have a lot of foot traffic, a lot of audience coming in and out. So be excited to see how this turns out.
So do you want to talk a little bit about the next 2 days of how this is going to be going on? Maybe mention some of the guests that we're going to be having coming on, or some companies. I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe give a brief overview of what the podcast is going to look like and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're going to just bring in some scheduled guests that we had previously, 15-minute, 30-minute window, talk about current, future initiatives, or even just company view, how they came about. Companies like Lockheed, I'm sure they're going to want to talk about, ongoing contracts they're going for. But there's some new names coming around that I'm excited to hear from.
Yeah, when we started, by the way, there was a lot of work that goes into this. People don't understand it, but shout out to the Tech Masters team and the iHeartMedia team, specifically Brandon and Derrick. The amount of work that we took on, I mean, it's not easy to do this.
It's not. You sent me a couple Excel sheets, and it's like, man, this is getting real.
You got notes, you need emails, like all these different things that people are like, oh, we'll just get you scheduled. And then it's like, well, it's more than just getting you scheduled. But no, I think we have some phenomenal guests. I love the fact that we have some of the large primes, of course.
Yeah.
But more so, I'm glad that we have some of these companies like Odyssey and Aria and Valkyrie. I'm trying to go through the list, but we have some really cool companies that will get to get their story out of how they're helping. Because, we know all about the big ones.
Exactly.
And nothing against them. They do great work. But we also want this to be able to spotlight those small companies, especially locally here in Huntsville, being that this is in Huntsville.
Exactly. I mean, in each one that I'm getting to know over the past couple of days, all their goals are different. So I'm excited to see what the future holds.
For sure. So, yeah.
And then I can pass it off to Derrick. He can go over like the specific stuff.
Yeah. So a little bit about Tech-Masters. We are a local company here in town. We've been in business for about 38 years. Dr. Marvin Carroll is our founder. About a year ago, we basically propositioned Dr. Carroll to allow us to start a Tec-Talk podcast for the company. And we started that, and it has bloomed way more than we could ever imagine. But we've been able to get a lot of different guests from the local community. And really the reason why we're here today is iHeart found us from our platform, our Tec-Talk Podcast platform. So we're excited to be here. A little bit about Tech-Masters, I would say, is we do a bunch of engineering services. We support the Army, the Air Force, the Navy. And we also recently started an AI division at Tech-Masters. I would say that's the Tech-Masters 2.0. And we're super excited for what the future holds for us. But we would love to, whoever's watching this, reach out to us. We would love to start some conversations to see if there's areas that we can collaborate on and support the warfighter in so many different ways. But super excited to be here. I have a great team. Shout out to Peyton Fight and Abraham Castro. They're not in the camera, but without them, we wouldn't be here. This setup's phenomenal. So thank you guys for doing that. Yes, I need a. Do you want to talk about the app? All right. Yeah, so we also do have the GovCon Cards app. It was just recently released on the App Store about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It is a business development tool that we developed in-house at Tech-Masters. Of course, with our AI division and our goal to streamline processes and procedures, we developed an app that basically allows you to take all your business cards that you receive, because if you go to these conferences like we're at today, you get so many cards. But basically, it uses AI and some really cool tools inside of the app to basically screenshot your business card, and then you can reach out to the individual in a matter of probably seconds. But it really is a goal. The whole goal of it is to be able to make coming to these conferences worth your while and able to respond to people that you would like to get in front of or have some conversations quickly. And it doesn't take like 2 hours to do. So, and it's completely free. Everything that Peyton is saying. Okay. So also on the app, it allows you to have your own virtual business card. You just pull it up. People can scan it with the QR code, store it into their phone. And it's an awesome app. Give it a try. It's called GovCon Cards. It's on the App Store, not on Google Play yet. But we're going to market that. Please share it. You will find that it will drastically increase your efficiency and effectiveness. But now I have Derrick from iHeartMedia. Welcome, Derrick.
Thank you.
How are you doing? How are you doing this morning?
Awesome. I can't stop smiling, man. I've never been here, so it's pretty awesome.
So day one of SMD 2026. What is your initial thoughts? Are you kind of blown away?
Yeah. Like when I just showed up yesterday, I was like, I'm not leaving this place, man.
You'll get lost in here.
I'm taking a little bit of everything back with me. So
hey, just wait till you get to go walk into the South Hall. Yeah. Have you been there yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, some of the stuff you can like get in and try and all that stuff. I'm doing that.
Oh yeah, go explore. That's what I tell everyone. You'll get to find out about so many different technologies. Some things you don't even probably know exist until you go in there
or even understand yet.
So maybe this is a good opportunity for you to talk about what you do at iHeartMedia, how you helped get all this set up with your teammate Brandon.
Yeah.
Welcome to share the floor with me, and let's have a conversation.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out again to you, Peyton, and Abraham. You guys are awesome. I think this is going to end up a great long-term partnership with you guys. And of course, shout out to Bob English as well. Brandon and I, we love working together. We kind of consider ourselves Batman and Robin. We're still deciding who's Robin. I kind of think Brandon's the Lego version, but that's just me. But kind of what we do is, helping these companies advertise. Kind of speaking of like the business cards, we actually have a thing set up here where people can come and scan, and it'll take them directly to Brandon and I. Because like I said, we work on everything together. Of course, he talked a little bit about broadcast radio is kind of our bread and butter. But of course, we do podcasts. Streaming audio, so we're going to hit them on the phone, computer, tablet, those new devices like Alexa as well. And then, of course, we got influencers, digital displays. So what's really cool about that is we can take them to a certain part of your website. So, a lot of these companies, they're doing so much where it's like if you go to this website, you don't know where to go. So if there's some kind of initiative that they were going after, we can take them directly to the website or a specific part of the website. And we can be super targeted. We can almost tell you what people have for breakfast,
That's good.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a good opportunity to talk about the partnerships you guys are looking at and how you guys can help some smaller businesses get their story out there. And I think one of the best avenues is a podcast.
Yep.
First off, you get to see the person that's talking.
Right.
And
you can have the real conversations.
Exactly.
People are engaged. So obviously with podcasts, they're choosing to download these podcasts.
Yep.
And of course, we have a couple different ways we do that. We do host-read podcasts, but we also follow the person. So again, with like the targeting, if they wanted to target government officials, professionals, business decision makers, that type of thing, it doesn't matter what podcasts are on. So they could be listening to a golf podcast after they're listening to their, the science field and that type of thing. So it follows them everywhere. Get your name out there. Great for brand awareness, especially with these, like you said, these smaller companies. Get your name out there. Get your name out there often. But the big thing is you got to have the right message, which we help companies with. You got to hit them at the right time, and you get the right audience. And just kind of like sum it up, what we do is like, not only do we help people know what these companies do, we're going to make people understand why it matters and why they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, because that's the whole reason is if people can understand the why, or you can say, this is how this can be beneficial, they all want it.
Right.
So maybe talk about, so let's just say there's a company that comes to you guys, says, hey, we need help. If they don't even have a podcast, but they want to start one. Is that where they can come to you and start with you and say, hey, how do we do this?
Yeah, exactly. And the great thing is we can actually create a custom podcast for you and then like drive traffic to that podcast.
Okay.
So that is pretty awesome. Like I said, the real conversations, we make it human, because this is a technical field, and there's a lot going on. Let's give them that human touch. People resonate with a story. That's the big thing. And like I said, we can even help with recruiting, with as specific as we can be, blueprint targeting, different areas. It's pretty awesome. We have a lot of platforms. So we get with you, talk about your goals, and then build the, right mix of platforms to get you those, succeed in those goals.
Yep. No, that's awesome. So shout out to them. So if you guys if there's companies watching or there's individuals that want to start a podcast on XYZ, whatever topic, or if you guys want to use it as more of a brand awareness or as a marketing.
Right.
It's something that, yes, there's a little bit initial upfront cost, but overall, the way that you can reach the most people, what we have found is through a podcast or something similar to where you can send it to targeted people and it basically tells your story for you and it can be watched at any time.
Right. And I will say like another part, like with the, say, broadcast radio, that's going to get your mass reach. It's going to reach obviously your target audience, but also the people influence them. So obviously if you hear something and your friend hears it, your company hears it, you're more likely to engage with it. But a real cool thing kind of with radio is we also have like total traffic weather network. So that's going to hit, the government officials and those professionals on their way to work while they're stuck in traffic. And, they have their ads, attached to, hey, this is brought to you by, Tech Masters, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to look at, by the way, is with
Let's
you guys.
lock it down right now.
Yeah, put us down. We would love to be able to get an ad into certain podcast.
Yeah.
Either the business card app or just something about Tech Masters, because I hear it all the time. I'm listening to all these techie AI podcasts, and they're all these sponsors come in every 15, 20 minutes. It seems like, hey, this is sponsored by this. But
see, that's where you get that, make sure you have the right message, to kind of stand out from everybody.
So what is you've been here in Huntsville, by the way, you guys didn't know this, but yesterday when we were setting it up, Brandon and Derrick actually had a flight from Dayton to come down here. I'm going to let him tell you what happened because I found it comical, but they ended up making it down here yesterday. Tell us what happened yesterday on the flight down.
Yeah. So actually, quick story. This would have been my first time on an airplane.
Oh, wow.
Because I drive everywhere, not because I'm afraid of flying or anything. Just, I always drove. I just, I'm a hiker. I like seeing the scenes, but we had the flight scheduled at midnight. I wake up from, my phone going off and flight's delayed because of another flight. Then it basically gets canceled. Then we're scrambling around, like, what are we going to do? There's no more flights. I think there was like one. We would have been here at 9 this morning. Yeah. But there would have been only one of us going on that flight because there was like one seat left. And we're like, I'm like, no, this can't be happening. This is going to be our first time, So we had to drive like 6.5 hours, like just go get a rental car. Thankfully, that went smooth. And yeah, we made it here at, I think it was 2:30.
Yeah, you made good timing.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. That I guess it just wasn't meant to be your first flight.
Yeah, I thought that too. I'm like, maybe that's divine intervention. Yeah. I don't know, but
the universe and the divine intervention was saying it's not your day.
Yeah, but Brandon and I always think positive, so we're just like, all right, let's flip it around. Let's get there, meet the guys.
Yeah, good thing there was a rental car available.
Yeah. Think so.
So once you got into Huntsville, what is the one thing that you're most shocked about Huntsville? Is this your first time here in Huntsville, or have you been before?
Very first time.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely like the feel of it. I see there's a lot of things being built and added on. We will say there's a lot of tight corners around here. Like if you got a big vehicle, I don't know how you're doing it around here. It's pretty tight, but I think the people are amazing. The views here are amazing. I think it's an awesome town.
Fantastic. Well, we're super excited to have you guys here. And I think it's going to be an awesome week. Looking forward to other events we can do this at, not even here. I mean, you guys specifically focus on this one, but there's other ones, the AUSA Global Force Symposium, the AUSA in DC. And we would love to do this as frequently as possible.
I agree, man. I think, like I said, I think you guys are great. We get along. It's perfect.
Well, thank you for all the things you guys have done to get this where we're at today. And with that, we're going to start our day.
Yeah, let's get these executives on, these CEOs on, let them talk about their companies, and let's have an awesome couple days, man.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee and a lot of water.
Yeah, I got my Monster over there, so.
See, you're doing it right. I might need the Monster. But anyways, we're glad to be here. Shout out to the iHeartMedia team, Brandon and Derrick. And come swing by and let's have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.